Welcome back to the channel, guys. Drew here, and this behind me is most likely the very last new vehicle I'll purchase for this year. And I'm going to tell you why I think it could be the very perfect vehicle for this climate, whether you're new to the business or you're growing your fleet and building out your fleet. Let's talk about it. Let's jump in. All right, guys, we're trying a new microphone. I've got some feedback about the audio quality not being the best, so we're trying a new microphone. Please throw it in the comments if this is better or worse, and let me keep me updated on that. I do listen to what you say. But behind me, I have a 22 Mitsubishi Outlander, and to be honest with you, I haven't been interested in any Mitsubishi product in about 12 to 14 years, and neither has most anybody else. Typically, Mitsubishis are sold to people who really can't afford anything else. They're just looking for any type of transportation, and they're not the best quality vehicles. They're not the most reliable, and there's been a lot of issues. But the 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander, I think, is going to be different, and I'll tell you why. A couple reasons. So let's talk about why I think it's a great vehicle for this climate. So what do we need if we're going to buy a brand new vehicle in this climate? The first thing we need is we need to be able to get a good deal on it. We need to be able to get it under market value. And this is a vehicle that you can get under market value. And you could say, well, yeah, because it's a Mitsubishi. Yeah, but this is different. This is actually a really, really good vehicle, and we'll talk more about it. But because it's the first really good vehicle that Mitsubishi has had in over a decade, maybe, the dealers are not used to being able to mark up their inventory on their vehicles, and so they're a little skittish about that. And that's why I was able to buy this at MSRP, maybe a little bit under, and you should be able to as well. And so it's a vehicle you can buy under market value compared to what the value of the vehicle is, in my opinion. Next, the reason it's a good vehicle is because of the versatility. If you're going to buy a vehicle now, it needs to be versatile. It needs to have a lot of different avenues for you to bring in revenue. And what's beautiful about this vehicle is it's in that niche of popular vehicles, which is the mid-side SUV. It's in that Equinox and even a Chevy Blazer, the Escape, or Ford Edge, the Nissan Rogue, and that style of vehicle, which are very, very popular vehicles for American consumers, and not only and even rental vehicles. But this one is a little bit unique in the sense it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit longer, and most importantly, it has standard. Every single model has a third row. And if you've been in the Turo business for any length of time at all, you understand the value of that extra third row. Now, look, it's for kids or whatever, but it gives you more versatility in the rental of the vehicle. And you're going to have people that maybe they don't need the third row, but they want the extra space, they can use it. But you also have people who they want to put a car seat back there, or they want to separate their kids on a road trip. And that third row becomes very valuable, and it can boost $20 to $30 per day on the booking just by having it. And so it's definitely a big plus, and that's one of the key differences between this vehicle and all the other mid-sized vehicles on the platform. So number 3 is it must be an attractive vehicle. And in my opinion, this is an extremely attractive vehicle. The lines in the vehicle are great. It comes, you can get these 20-inch rims that I have on this model. I mean, they're really good looking. They definitely pop as far as that goes. And it's a really good looking vehicle when it comes to as far as aesthetically, and that's important on the platform, because it doesn't matter how good the vehicle rides, if when customers are looking for a vehicle, especially a vehicle that's not on their hit list, like people will go and look up a Corvette, they'll go and look up a Mustang or a Camaro, and if you're buying a vehicle that doesn't have a well-known brand or name, then you need it to pop when they see it. And this vehicle does that. That's why I'm a fan of the brighter colors. That's why I'm a fan of, paying up a little bit to get the aesthetic differences to make the vehicle, just that much better, because the vehicle's got to pop on the platform if you're going to get them to click on it, to look on it, to review it, and ultimately to book it. So it needs to be an attractive vehicle, and the Mitsubishi Outlander, in in my opinion, is one of the most attractive vehicles in the midsize SUV category, which lowers the amount of your investment, the amount you're having to borrow on the vehicle. Now, when you go one notch up from that, you get into the Chevy Traverse, you get into the Kia Telluride and the Honda Palisades, and you get into some of those higher end large SUVs, but you also get into $40,000, $50,000 cost range, and sometimes higher than that. And that's not where, in this climate, that's not the kind of money I want to be borrowing. I want to be borrowing a little bit lower amount of money, and that's why I've targeted this vehicle and finally got one at a great deal. So it's got to be an attractive vehicle, right? In this climate. 4 is it must be good value, and this is an outstanding value for what you get in the vehicle. What you get in the vehicle is one of the only sub 30,000 midsize SUVs that you can get with a third row and all-wheel drive. And so on a very strict budget that you can get at MSRP or a little bit less, you could be under $30,000 and still have a third row and all-wheel drive, which makes it an outstanding vehicle if you're in cold weather climate. So if you're in the the Northeast, or out near Chicago, or anywhere that gets a lot of snow, this vehicle definitely should be on your list because of the value that you're getting for the price point. And that's what makes it so special for the market. Now, the reason why it's a good value and it's a great vehicle is because one reason is it's not a Mitsubishi anymore. This is actually a Nissan Rogue. And now, Nissan Rogue is not necessarily on my hot list, but they sell a lot of them. In fact, leading up into the COVID, the last 3 years before COVID, Nissan sold 400,000 plus of these Nissan Rogues going right into COVID, and it is their bread and butter vehicle. It is their highest volume vehicle, and it's the vehicle that that they depend on the most. So when they revamp the Nissan Rogue, they're going to spend a lot of resources on it because they need it to be a top seller. So Mitsubishi partnered with Nissan, and they built this Outlander around the brand new Nissan Rogue. So the interior of the vehicle is outstanding. It's one of the best in class for the money. And it also has all the tech features that you would think of. The vehicle behind me, I paid around $33,000 for it. It's got adaptive cruise. It's got an upgraded 9-inch wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's got the power liftgate. Importantly, that the model that this is has the the app where I can unlock and lock remote, and so I can have make it easy for remote check-ins as far as that goes. It's got leather. It's got like a kind of an Alcantara, Fox Alcantara type of a leather seats that are that really look great. It's packed with all the different types of technology that you would expect on vehicles that cost a lot higher. And that's what makes it a compelling vehicle, a good value as far as that goes. So now the other benefit that this vehicle has as far as the Turo business is, and which makes it better than the Nissan Rogue. Not only do I think it looks better, not only does the Nissan Rogue not have a third row, this does have a third row, but the Nissan Rogue, along with most new vehicles, come with a 3-year 36. Well, you know that for a Turo, you can use up those miles really, really quickly. So this goes back to the versatility of the vehicle. This vehicle actually has a 5-year, 60,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. And that's a 2 years. That gives you much more time on the platform if the vehicle does really well and you need to keep it. And it also helps you if you want to sell the vehicle 2-3 years in and you're selling a vehicle that already has 1 or 2 years left of the warranty. And so that's a big benefit, and why I think it'll hold its value up much better than any previous Mitsubishi. The other thing is that they have a PHEV coming out of this exact model. It's not out yet, but this gives me great trade bait to use if I like that model and I need the tax credit as far as that goes coming next year. So overall, just a great value as in a budget package. and that looks great. The higher end of these models, you could almost rent them as luxury type models, and that's crazy coming from a Mitsubishi. If you took really good pictures and so forth, and emphasize all the luxury features in the vehicle. Now let's talk about the trims. There's 3 trims. There's the ES and the SE. I think you want to live in the ES and the SE. The ES is start out at $27,000. Third row. SUV that you could get all-wheel drive. Even with all-wheel drive, you're looking at like $29,000. That's the ESs. That's going to be cloth, obviously. The interior is going to be, much lower. If you go up to the SE, which is what this is, you can get the leather interior. You get the app access. Key reminder: the app access is not available on the ES, from what I was told. So the SE has the app access that you would want with the Turo business, and you also get some of the other nice features like a bigger screen, the wireless Apple CarPlay. I think it even has wireless charging, adaptive cruise, the LED lights, the upgraded the 20-inch rims you can actually get on an ES if you pay a package for it. But just aesthetically, more importantly, the interior of the vehicle is stepped up quite a bit when you go to the SE with all the leather and all that goes. The higher end model, the SEL, I don't recommend purchasing that for Turo, because I think it will depreciate a lot quicker, unless you can get a good bit of money off of MSRP. Some of the higher end models, when they get to that 37, 38, 39 range, they tend to sit on lots a little bit longer. And so, if you have a premium market and you feel it would fit your customers, if you can get a discount off of one of those, I'm not against it. But mainly where you want to live is that ES and the SE trim level. Anything from $27,000 to $34,000, with all-wheel drive, and you're getting a lot of vehicle for the money. And it's a vehicle that you should be able to keep on the platform for a long time because of the year and because it's a brand new model. So hopefully this is helpful. Let me get your input. Am I crazy for recommending a Mitsubishi? Look at the Outlander. Look what it looks like. Look what comes with it, and you tell me if I'm way off. I think you're going to do really well with it. Until next time, guys, I'm out, and thanks for tuning in.